Hi guys, welcome to Sabrina Laurohia's podcast, episode 5. I can't believe we made it to episode 5. I'm so excited. I'm really happy to be recording the video episodes. It makes it more fun, like to arreglarme and look cute and get a little nervous for the camera. I think it's fun. And then I also am trying to get a little bit more creative with how I do these video episodes. I think I got a little setup going, by the way. I think it's looking cute. Still working on it, but I think it's looking cute. Um, but I really hope that you guys enjoy that intro that I made. It took me forever. Oh my god. I knew that vloggers and podcasters and TikTokers, like, all of these cool people and these creatives, they really love their craft, but I didn't realize that if you're not paying for the service, which is fine by the way, but if you're not paying for the service, that shit takes forever. Doing that intro took me like 2 or 3 hours. It's so beautiful and simple because I'm a beautiful and simple girly, but that shit took me like 3 hours. Oh my god, but I love it. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope it's cute and it matches the vibe of the podcast. As I'd mentioned and I've mentioned almost in every episode, this is an evolving podcast. So things might not be the same forever. I've changed my logo a few times. I might be changing the intro or the music or whatever. Um, but I think it's all part of the process and I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm enjoying like being creative and looking forward to doing something instead of just coming home and like encerrándome and not doing anything for the rest of the week. I get tired of doing that sometimes. So looking forward to doing my podcast is like really fun and exciting. And yeah, guys, so I just want to show that quick gratitude and well to thank you guys also for being here, for watching and or listening. Hopefully you do both, please. But if not, for doing either or. Because it kind of pushes me to do a little bit more. I think last time I checked, which was earlier this week, I only have 12 subscribers. But it's not only have 12 subscribers. I have 12 subscribers. 12 people want to listen to me. 12 people want to look at me. I love that for me. It's really exciting and it might be just 12, but to me it's a lot because it's like, what's the word? It's helping me feel more comfortable with getting in front of the camera. And shout out to my mom. She might be like 3 of those subscribers. But I don't know, it helps me feel more excited to get in front of the camera. It like motivates me a little bit more. And yeah, guys, I always like to show y'all gratitude and then also give gratitude like to God and my guides and my ancestors for pushing me to create this platform and to really put myself out there. And they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. 2 years ago, like I said, I wouldn't have been ready to do this and I wouldn't have fully committed to it. But I feel like right now they knew what they were doing and they knew I was ready. And I love that for me. Yeah, guys. So today's episode is going to be, I feel like I'm gonna get emotional on this episode, so I just want to let y'all know. I feel like this might be a little bit like of an emotional episode. I never really pre-plan my episodes, so sometimes it turns into ramble. But I think this one might get a little emotional, a little deep. So just to let y'all know, today's episode is going to be about embracing change. And there's a lot of things that I think I want to touch on that go into embracing change, but today's episode is going to be like the big idea of embracing change. And the reason why I want to talk about that today specifically out of a lot of other things that I've thought that I wanted to talk about is because I feel like the world is changing so much around us. Like there's so much going on, good and bad around us that is really hard to digest. It's really hard to like well, I mean, a lot of us don't have a choice. We're not gazillionaires, and if y'all are, thank you for watching me and or listening to me. But we don't really have the time to be super stressed or to be super worried because we have to make a living. Like we have to work, we have to go to school, we have to maintain friendships, relationships. Like we have to keep going, and so we don't have the time to really let ourselves be overly stressed but also not let ourselves be overly concerned with what's going on in the world. But that doesn't mean that it's not worrisome. For example, me, something that I have been really worried about is all of this stuff that's going on with like immigration and all of these changes and all of these policies. It's really stressful and overwhelming to me. And I think like triggering seeing it all over social media, I know that it's what's going on and that affects my community hugely, but I also feel like it, it's like a lot. It's a lot for us to take in every single day. And so, with all of these crazy changes and things that are going on, like in politics and all of that, I feel like a lot of us don't really have time to embrace other things that are going on in our lives. And I mean, like I said, we are, most of us at least, are like regular people. I'm a regular person too. It's okay. Most of us are like regular people, so there's so much that goes on in our daily lives that I feel like is way more important. Sometimes it feels like than other things that are going on around the world. So I don't know why I felt like needing to say that, but I did. And then back to the topic. So embracing change. I feel like right now I am in a phase in my life where even if I don't want to embrace change, baby, I have to embrace change right now. I have no choice but to embrace the change because if I don't, I'm going to fall into like this pit of sadness, into this pit of like hopelessness, into this pit of being like upset and angry and amarga. And I don't want to be that way. I know that there's a lot going on in my personal life, obviously, that you guys don't see behind the scenes, but there's a lot going on in my personal life. But I have grown so much to now realizing that change, no matter how hard it might be, it's really necessary because it puts you in positions to like find yourself again. This is all tying back into like my previous episodes, but it's because y'all are kind of going through the journey with me of like my evolution and me growing and me healing and me just wanting to talk about things that I've gone through, I'm going through, and probably will go through because I'm only 25. There's still so much that I have to live. So, only 25. Oh my goodness. There's still so much that I have to live. And so, I feel like one huge tip, huge tip that I can give for you to embrace change is to not look at change with sadness. That's a really hard thing to do, and that's a really like challenging task, I think, to reset your brain and to instead of thinking about change and thinking about things that have happened with sadness, thinking about them with maybe not happiness because some stuff is like fucked up. I'll be honest, but looking at them through like a more positive lens. Damn, that happened to me, but look at the person it made me now. You know, damn, that happened to me, but I'm grateful that I got to live that experience with that person. Um, damn, that just happened, but luckily it saved me from, getting hurt out on the streets or something like that. You know what I mean? I feel like when you really open your heart and your mind and you stop being so negative, and all the things that I say in these episodes are things that I genuinely live with and live through. So nothing is me trying to like be more than what I am because this is like stuff that I've lived through or I'm currently living through. And I mean, you don't just heal de un golpe. Like you go through life and you go through life and you go through life, and there's so many things that they keep triggering you and they keep coming up, and it's hard to deal with sometimes, guys. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. So, I feel like cuando la vida te da esos golpes and it forces you to decide what route you want to take, always try to take the positive route, even if it might be hard, because sometimes it's hard to get out of those emotions that you feel. It's hard to get out of your mind, especially. It's hard for you to like look at the positive and look at things maybe with a little bit of, I want to say like gratitude. Look at things with a little bit of gratitude that, you know, this is all part of life's experiences and it's all helping me to become a better and a greater person for the next people that are going to come into my life, for my next job, for my next career, for my next hobby that I indulge in. Like all of these things, I feel like you just have to look at life with a different lens. By the way, if y'all hear a lot of background noise, it's because I have my windows open to let the air in, and so I live in a neighborhood, and so there's a lot of cars passing by and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, I want to say also that when you really embrace change, not accept change. we don't have a choice but to accept change. Change is gonna happen. Life is gonna change. People are gonna come. People are gonna go. Jobs are gonna obviously come and go. You're going to keep growing, and change is inevitable. But when you embrace it and you look at it through a different lens, a lens of like love and positivity and kind of admiration, because you know that it's going to help you become a better person, I feel like life smiles down on you, like instead of it frowning down on you. Trying to do a play on words here. It smiles down on you and it blesses you with so much more. It's like, damn, look at her. A few months ago, she would have broken down. She would have given up on everything. She would have gave up everything that she'd worked so hard for, and it might be difficult for her right now, but she's choosing to go a different route. She's choosing to give life another try. She's choosing to embrace the change and really hold it deep and digest what's going on and what's happening so that she can keep going. And you know what I just thought of? Like, my Madrina always tells me that, I mean, you have to know how to roll with the punches, because life is going to keep going. People are going to keep living their lives. Everyone around you is going to keep having a life. And if you stay stagnant and you stay stuck in the things that are happening in your life, you're never going to evolve. You're going to stay where you are and become miserable. You're going to be sad. You're going to look at other people, sometimes even with envy, because you're not understanding how all of these people around you can keep going with their lives, or even maybe with resentment. That's a really big thing. You can look at people around you with resentment too, because you can't understand fully. And mind you, this has happened to me again. So you look at people around you with resentment because you can't comprehend how you're going through such a difficult time, but all of these people around you, they seem so happy, and their life is looking up, and they're changing, and they're becoming better people, and they're living some of life's experiences that you've always wanted to live, that you've dreamt of, that you've asked and prayed God and your ancestors to bless you with. And so, um, sometimes those things, sometimes they're not for you, and other times it's just not your moment to live them. And you have to learn how to, like, mm, what's the word? I'm trying to think of the word. You have to learn how to live with the joy of seeing other people and seeing the world around you like progress and evolve too. I think one thing that I've really realized is nobody's world revolves around me, and that has helped me a lot to stop feeling resentful towards changes around me. Also to like embrace change and let go and let things go with the flow. That has definitely helped me a lot, because I always felt like the world revolved around me. Why wouldn't That was my thought, right? Why wouldn't the world revolve around me? Why wouldn't this person do whatever I say? Why wouldn't this family member love me and only me? Why this? Why that? Like, and that's a very, very selfish thought to have. That's extremely selfish, because you realize that no one is really your world. You are your own world, and you have to like evolve, and you have to grow, and you have to find your own self and find life and find what makes you happy, and not depend on others to do that for you. Guys, that's a really huge thing. You cannot depend on anyone to make you happy, because with the changes that come in life, sometimes those people and those things that are around you that you think are keeping you together, or that sometimes really are keeping you together, because you become dependent on them when they're not around, or they're not easily accessible anymore, or they've just gone away. It almost feels like your heart sometimes gets ripped out of your chest. It feels like your world kind of stops. It feels like you become lost afterwards, because you never took the time to like, what am I trying to say here? You never took the time to really make it a mutual thing. You made it just a them thing, and you lost yourself in the process. And then trying to get yourself back after that, if you're not ready and willing to embrace and accept that change, it gets really difficult. Trust me, I have lived that. it gets really, really difficult. And I'm not just talking about relationships, I'm talking about friendships, I'm talking about careers, I'm talking about really important life decisions, relationships with family members, like even material things that you don't want to let go of, but it's time to release, it's time to let go and to embrace the new things that are going to come into your life. Sometimes if you don't let go and sometimes if you don't release, you're never going to get what's truly meant for you. You know, you're never going to come across that opportunity that's going to change your life. You're never going to come across that thing that you love just a tad bit more. You still miss that. I'm always talking about a couch. I feel like I want a new couch. This is like the second or third time I mentioned the couch. If you wouldn't have let that couch that you loved go, you wouldn't have this new one that's cuter and that you love just a tad bit more. Um, and I think it's I think it's beautiful once you learn to embrace change. I'm still learning how to embrace change and not take it so personally when my life is changing. Obviously, it's my life, so it's personal to me, but take the actions that people take around me personal because um, I'm trying my best to learn how to embrace change, guys. I swear I am. It's hard. It's hard. Now that I'm thinking, guys, another thing I want to talk about is I think finding yourself. Oh my god, I'm touching back on my first like two episodes. What's going on? I feel inspired today. I want to talk about finding yourself and not falling back into things that you know are not for you. See, it all kind of ties together in a way. I told y'all I don't pre-plan this. I just kind of talk. Um, I think when you learn or you start learning who you are, but really, really learning who you are. Not one day you decide you're gonna go explore and do something, which is fine. That's a good start. But once you really, really start delving into who you are and what you like and what you want to do with your life, I feel like no one can take that away from you. Despite how many changes there could be in life, despite how many people can come and go and situations you can live through or whatever, you always remember who you are. And no one can take that away from you. Once you realize where you stand in your own life, once you realize the position that you give to other people, once you realize your role in other people's lives, it's almost like it helps you not to take things so personally anymore. Yeah. Yeah. You feel like you just, something still hurt. I'll admit, something still hurt. Even if you embrace the change and you don't take them personal anymore, sometimes todavía duele un poquito because change is hard. Releasing things is hard. Deciding to not kill yourself metaphorically. Deciding to not like waste so much energy on things that are no longer going on the past, on obsessing over things that happened and how they could have been different. I feel like once you release all of that, it helps you become a better person and it helps you really, 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 really prepare and get ready for the new things that life has to offer. And so that's why I said it's almost like life smiles down on you. It blesses you, it gives you more because it sees that you're actually trying to grow, you're actually trying to evolve, you're trying to become a better person. And yeah, guys, so I'm really happy to have you guys here. I'm really grateful again to have you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It wasn't too much ramble, I hope. It was just the right amount of ramble for me, I guess. And I hope that if you guys have anything that you want to ask or anything that you want me to touch on or talk about, I have hiccups. Oh my god. Anything you want me to touch on or talk about, let me know because sometimes I do run out of ideas or sometimes I think that what I'm thinking of talking about isn't good enough. So maybe someone's idea is going to be something that I actually do genuinely want to talk about. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm not crazy. Like, that's a good topic. Um, and yeah, guys, I thank you guys for being here. I pray that you guys have a happy Easter, that you enjoy your time with your family. And if you're not going with your family, that you enjoy your solo time and you get to like chill and watch a movie or like find something to do around the house. I've had holidays where I just stay home and I don't do anything and I don't go anywhere. And I like reorganize the whole house and that's like super fun to me. I I like to be alone too. And yeah guys, may God and your guides and your ancestors continue to guide you, to put you on the right path, to open all of the doors that are going to help you find happiness and find love and find joy, and to bring you lots of stability, so that you can have time to embrace the change that comes with life and love and joy. And yeah, guys, toodaloo.